Well, howdy everybody. Hope everybody's having a terrific evening. Merry Christmas. Don't know if I'll get this out before Christmas, but even if it's after, Merry Christmas to everybody. And a Happy New Year. Okay, what I got here, you can see it's the head. And I've got the valve sitting inside here. I've been looking at, all kinds of different stuff. Specs and everything. And of course, I bought new valves, so the valve seats and everything. Actually, like this portion right here, the shiny part. I don't need to measure those obviously because they're brand spanking new valves. One thing I have noticed, and I don't know if I should get a hold of a common motor, but if you notice this valve here, these are the intakes. This one here, you kind of got to push it down fairly decent. This one here is a little bit easier to go in, or a little bit stiffer to go in. I don't know, but anyway, I got some of this. I got stuff here. I got some of this Prussian blue, so we can see where the valves are hitting. Then I've got the fine grade compound. We have the coarse grade compound. We have the old manual suction cupper. And I do have a section of hose here. I was, make no lies, I was kind of Googling, what's the best method for doing this? Because I've never done it before. So, it's a mixed camp. Some say the suction cup thing is the best way to do it. Some say that, putting this on the end of the valve stem, like that, like so, because it's just fuel line hose. It fits snug right over it. That way you can hook your drill into the end of this other side and spin it on slow. So I don't know. I may try both. So in the meantime, let's put a little lick on it. We're going to stick it to the valve. That way we can pull the valve out. And we got the valve sitting here. We're going to take some of our Prussian blue. I don't know if you got to knead this thing or what. And we'll put some on the end of our little acid brush here. And we're going to coat the end of the seat here, and I may have went a little too crazy with it. It's better too crazy than not crazy enough, right? Okay, so let's go put it down here, set it down, kind of move it, I guess, and look at, I think I put too much on here. Let's try this again. Take some of this off. Try that again. And see if I can see. Looks like it's making contact all the way around. Maybe try a little bit more. I don't know, never done it before. But it looks to me like I'm not really missing any spots. So let's wipe this one off. And blind myself on my light. Okay, let's try the other one. Sorry for any of the background noise, guys. It's a little chilly outside. Got the heater going. Okay, so I don't know, man. Looks like it's sitting all the way around. Okay. Now supposedly, and I gotta find my plugs. I got some of those little silicone plugs from when I powder coat stuff. I gotta find my powder coat stuff so I can find my plugs. Alright, so let's do this valve here. Try just pushing it on and not spinning it. Okay, so that one, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you guys to see down there, but I didn't spin that one. I just pushed it down in there and let it sit. And you can see there are spots where the blue didn't go. And I do have the blue all the way around it, so we'll wipe this one off. The intake ones definitely go in there tighter than the exhaust ones. Yeah, maybe that's normal. Okay, so they're just pushing it in. Yeah, there's one little spot where it's not quite touching, but it is all the way around the valve. So, all right. So anyway, back to the plugs. Yeah, yeah. I guess there's two holes. I'll show you here in a sec. Well, you might be able to see them. Right there. That's the spark plug hole. I need to plug that because apparently you can plug those once you've got your grinding done. You can put, you know, like parts cleaner or whatever, pour it in here, and if it's not leaking out, you know you've got a good seat. So anyway, that's what they say. Okay, so let's take this is some coarse. And we're going to take some. Kind of put it on there. Drop it down. Well, my sticky thing is My suction cup is spinning. Maybe the lick and stick method isn't that great. And that's the tiny side. Maybe try the little fatter side. Try licking and sticking that side. Okay. Stuff don't taste that good, that's for sure. Blah! Let's put it back down in there. Yeah, if I try to two-hand it, it's just spinning. The suction thing. And if you notice, if you can hear, if I pull it up, push it back down and spin it, you can hear it's a coarse rub, and then as it spreads the stuff, it gets a finer sound. Don't ask me, I don't know how long you got to do this for. I guess until you test it again with the Prussian blue. Pull that out. Let's wipe her off. Take a look with the flashlight. Oh, looks good. Might still be a little bit of pitting right there where my finger's pointing. Well, I've never, A, done this before, B, never used one of these suction things. But it doesn't like to stay suctioned. I don't know if there's a specific trick to that. Well, that might be good enough. I don't know. Wipe everything off. And we'll take a look. I guess I could shoot it out with some card cleaner. It looks good. I guess I don't know. Well. I mean, I don't know about the whole parts cleaner stuff down in there because there's nothing, it's not going to have the spring on it. I watched them do it and they did not have the spring on it to hold tension on it. Or maybe they did. Maybe I need to rewatch that video again. I don't know. But either way, if I don't do that and put the springs back on, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna leak out or what. So, I don't know. Beats me. So let's put some on this other one. Well, it seems to be sticking better to this valve. Of course, I say that, and then it comes right off. Woo. Got away from me. Let's wipe this one off. Take a look. And on another note, I was looking at Partzilla. You know, they've got diagrams for, you know, all the parts and everything. And on the exhaust valve, they show a couple pieces that my valves do not have. So I'm kind of puzzled over that one, but let's see how this looks. One looks actually pretty good. But you see that? Loose. Of course, I don't have any oil in them. And that could be all that is. I mean, I did check. I got these little small hole gauges right here. And was playing around with that. I mean, everything seems fine. So, I don't know. Maybe I got lube or need to lube it or whatever. So we've done the course on the exhaust. Let's do the course on the intake. You know this, I got a bigger one here. I think it's going to be too big for that valve though. Let's try it. Yeah, I think it's too big. Yeah, I think it's going to stay stuck on there. This drill method may work better because it's not wanting to stay stuck. Just spins right off. Okay, so let's try putting this on the end. And then we'll put the drill on low. And is it not spinning? Is it spinning? Very light pressure, guys. Let's see. Got everything sticking to me. See if the seat looks any better. Yeah, that could be better. Alright, so let's try this again. Well, even with that, the hose is liking to spin. Just doing it by hand. Still works better than the suction cup thing. Still got to get all these gaskets off of these intake things, the side things where the tack thing goes, the sparker fans. I can get all those off there still. Exciting stuff. I'd turn it around the other way, but I'm right-handed, so. see if that's done anything. Let's see where this is actually sitting down in here. So I don't know, I mean, it looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna, let's see if that covers that area down there. No. So, because there's like, I don't know, some sort of buildup. Yeah. Come right off. I haven't really thoroughly cleaned this yet, guys. So, I did stick it in the ultrasonic. I'm trying to round up things to look at making a vapor blaster, as we had discussed previously, so I could clean all this stuff up. Got my eye on a used Harbor Freight sandblasting cabinet, so I may get a hold of the guy tomorrow and see if he's available for me to come look at it. Hey, he wants $100 for it. They're like $225 brand new. So, as long as all the parts are there, that'll work. I'm trying not to spend a lot of money to make one. I did buy a pump. I got one, what do they call it, dirty pump. Crap, how much did I pay for that thing? Like $50. So, not a bad deal. But then I need to get the foot pedal thingy. I think the Eastwood has that. I should have ordered all that stuff. Our plant shut down for Christmas week. That way I could have worked on that, but I'm telling you guys, I've been so busy roasting. This is the first time I've really had a chance to mess with this thing lately. This is, what day? It's Sunday. Christmas is Wednesday. I was roasting all day today. I know. Excuses. Actually, I need to look down in ports there. You know, I wonder, back in the day when I had my Mustangs and raced those and stuff, I would take the intake, well, not on the 4.6 because that thing was plastic, but when I had, what did I do, what the hell size was that? 331? No. Yeah, 331? I forget. 5.8 liter, whatever size that translates out to be. This has been a while ago, guys. And I had a Cobra intake on it. And I imported it. So I wonder if porting this would be any advantage. And I'm not saying go crazy, because you can see, those, I don't know if you can see inside there. They're pretty grimed up, I mean, at least smooth them out and get a little better airflow. Well, I don't know about the whole drill thing, but just putting the hose on the end of here works better than the suction cups. That's my opinion. Now, speaking of coffee, guys, in my description, I always put a link in there to the website and a 5% off coupon. I think it's YouTube, all uppercase. Use that, you get 5% off. And wait, there's more. You order 2 bags, it's a flat $5 shipping. You order 3 bags, and it's free shipping. And yes, it never fails. Everybody who orders 3 bags, they're on the West Coast. I swear I'm going to go bankrupt with this coffee stuff. But check out our website. It's ghcoffeeco.com. We got some great stuff out there, guys. I should know I drink it every day. Yeah, I'm biased. But no, it really is some good stuff. And I enjoy doing it as much as I enjoy doing this stuff. No, I'm not going to turn the camera around and show you the demon-possessed TC125. I need to do another video on that and kind of explain where I left off and what's been going on. No, the bike is possessed. I'm not making that up. Okay, so I think we ought to check this one. We've been spinning around and around while I've been yammering. And I couldn't find any information about once doing this. Is each valve specific to the hole that it's in? So we've got 2 intake valves here. Let's say intake 1, valve 2. When you do these, should you, and it makes sense to me, you should leave that valve with that one you just did. That way, it's seated for that specific valve. Let's see here. This one here is looking pretty good. Valve hole. Let's just call it that. So, put that one down there. That seems pretty good. Okay, so that's coarse. We're gonna leave that, and like I said, we can try once I get all 4 of them done, and I can find my little pluggy thingies. Then we can put this in a tub, block them holes, I don't care. I just put gas in there. It don't matter. Anything liquid, and see if they drip out. If they don't drip, then then we've got them seated good. If they do drip, well, I guess not. So I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, that was the course. So we will use the suction cuppy thing on the smaller exhaust valves because it seems to work okay. I know. For those of you who've done this before, I'm probably boring the crap out of you. Bear with me. I've never done this before, so I think it's actually kind of cool. Well, I think it's cool. Hopefully, I'm doing it right cool. Okay, I counted 15 times that I did that. Real scientific, right? You do know, right? How's that look? Well, looks like shiny. I don't see no pitting or nothing in there. I may have to get my readers out, but it looks good from what I can see here. But back to that thing. I stare at this bike every day when I come in the garage. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here staring just at the bike because I lack of better things to do. But I look at it thinking, how far do I want to go with this? So, if you guys would be so kind, drop me something in the comments. Yeah, because the more I look at the bike, I could probably, well, back to the earlier episodes, that tank is a CL tank, and the color does not match the forks, well, the very faded headlight bucket, but, hold on a minute. That's 15. I can't talk to you and keep track of my counting. My brain just doesn't operate that way. So yeah, how far should I go on this thing? I mean, like I said, other than the tank's gonna have to be repainted to match. Which is, kind of a bummer. But the tank's in great shape, so and I'm not going to go with the original Honda color because actually I thought about getting out to, because I've got who is that place? Touch up, something, touching, I don't know. They sell a bunch of car paints. I've used them before, when I painted a VW Beetle. The paint was pretty good, so. But you can get that stuff in aerosol. So instead of getting out the paint gun and all that crap, trying to shoot it with just a, maybe a candy red. So, so that's gonna have to be done. Well, it doesn't have to be done, but okay. So these are good. Obviously, I think I'm gonna shoot some. Well, I gotta do the intakes. The intakes. Let's try. Since we're using this fine grit, let's see if this will spin. Now. I'm really debating because the bike's in pretty good shape. The chrome is fairly decent. So, I don't know, man. But if I do that, then I'm going to have to take everything off of it so I can paint the frame. Because the frame is the worst looking part of it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the suction thing does not like to work on the bigger valves, and this smaller big one right here is too big. So we'll go back to the hose over the valve method. But back to that, I think it'd be pretty cool. Have the frame all nice and shiny black for what all of it you can see. And I really didn't pay hardly anything for it, so take the time and take it apart. And the only downside to that is it's winter time, and I hate painting in here when the door's shut. That's one thing that will choke, and even I do have a good mask. That will choke me up, guaranteed. So I don't know. I'm just, I can always yank it out later on to do it, but now would be the best time to do it. Give me your thoughts. I'm going to try this drill thing again. Yeah, why not? I'll just chuck it back in here. Yeah, I got a crappy piece of hose there. I do have a crappy piece of hose, guys. Where's my scissors? Maybe that's why it was kind of loose. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. See how that looks. Now, Kane, I know you're going to be watching. What do you think about cleaning it and painting it? Give me your thoughts, man. Dale ain't gonna watch. My shenanigans are too much for him. I probably drive Dale insane. Especially when I call him. But Dale, if you're watching, I hope you're doing great. I think the drill method does work pretty good, especially on the intake side. Not so much on the exhaust. The suction thing does stick there fairly well. And it doesn't, I mean, based on what I'm seeing here, doing this, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to do it. And it's definitely not, you know, like strenuous. I mean, I know I'm weak and all, but this ain't that bad. Okay, let's see how that looks. You know, they look good to me, but I'm no, you can see there. They look good. Let's do this. Whoa, let's not do that. Let's take this, I'm gonna set it right over here a sec, shoot this with some brake clean. Get all that grit off there. Let's hit this valve. That looks good. Okay, what I am noticing though is, I don't know if it's going to show up on here. The whole part of that seat, you can see where it's been ground. But it's not encompassing the whole seat from this here all the way to the bottom. So, but looking down in here, it looks good. Let's shoot the other one. It's pretty much the same. Just for giggles. Let's grab one of the old valves. Kind of look at how it sits. See, it looks like it sits down there a little bit farther. So I may have to keep doing this because I don't know if this is going to show up on the camera. You put that down in there, it seems like trying to hold it and get light for you. Seems like from this edge, you know, to the seat, seems like it's sitting a little more flush. And put this one in. Looks like it's definitely more proud. I don't think that's right. Yeah, this one definitely sits down a little bit more. I wonder if that is the case with the exhaust side too. Let's double check. And I looked at all these valves. I thought one of them might have been bent, but that does not appear to be the case. So technically I could probably just reuse these valves, clean these. Okay, now that one sits a little more. I don't know if you can see it. That one right there. Sits a little more proud. That's the this is the original valve. And then that one looks like it's sitting about the same. So the exhaust sides look okay. It's the intake side that doesn't. I mean, I guess I can keep grinding on it. I ain't gonna bore you guys with that. But I mean, just the simple fact that I'm seeing on that valve an area where it's ground and then a shiny area where it hasn't been ground. That's leading me to believe that it is needing to be ground more, which ain't no big deal. I don't know. I mean, I could still, as it is, leave it like this, find my plugs, do the leak test on it, and see if it's leaking. Of course, my guess is it's probably going to leak no matter what. But I don't know. All right, well, I have bored you long enough with this, so I will bring you back. I'll find my plugs, and we'll just kind of do a quickie test. I'm debating if I do want to grind these intake ones anymore. I mean, I've got these valves, I'm going to use them. I mean, I can keep these old ones for if I get another 175. I think they're maybe the same valves on a 200. But I will dork with this some more and bring you back. So, yeah, I got you in a few. All right, let's see how scientific this is. I got my plugs. Found my plugs right here. Those are used for powder coating. Let's see how well this works. Okay, there's one. This is just water. Cats are going to be mad at me. I stole water from their cat food bowl. Their cat jug. Okay, so they are completely submerged. And I managed not to spill any down in the bucket. Which, I need to clean this bucket because it looks like there's growing algae in it. Okay, I did do some checking, and the lip, the edge, doesn't need to be ground all the way down. You just need to have a uniform strip all the way around it, which, as you seen last night, we did have that. So that's good. You know, it's a mixed thing, 50-50. Some people say, yeah, you grind it all the way down. Some people say no. The one I was looking at where they said no was on the single overhead cam 4 forum for Honda bikes. So, and a guy had an exact example of what I was doing, because that's what he was doing. He had the same question. So they said no. Now, as long as this doesn't leak and this thing is dry, and I do not see any leaking, I do not see any dripping, we're going to let this, I'm going to pause you guys, and then we'll come back in a little bit and see if we got any leakage. If not, then everything is great. If we do have leakage, then everything is not great, and I will have to lap them a little bit more. So I will bring you back while we're waiting for that. Exciting stuff watching. Okay, this thing here, okay, I have looked all over the place for this answer, and I can't find it. Now, if you remember, you know, smart man me, we do have the green. I didn't write down the color combinations. I'd have to look at the bike over there. However, and I did write on the plug the green one, but when I marked on these, the colors that they were, well, I did it with the Sharpie and it came off. So there are, I will have to, actually, the bike is right there. Okay, so we have a pink, a green with a red stripe. One I was reading on said it was white, and then a yellow. Now, with that said, if you look at this thing right here, your stator, you'll notice that these are the 4 wires right here I'm pointing at. They all come into here, and they all tie into this right there where I got my finger. So it doesn't matter, really. I mean, does it matter what color is on this? Because looking at the diagram, the electrical diagram, and crap, I ain't got that page up on my book. And looking at the one online, I have another one. They show 2 of them going to the magneto. No, the voltage regulator. Two of them go to that. One of them goes to the, look like the headlights. And then the other one, I forget, but I'll have to look it up again. So anyway, ultimately, I don't think it matters. So, I mean, worst case, put the green where it is, put the other three, just find a spot for them. And then when I get to the point to where I'm ready to start messing with the electrics on the bike, then deal with that. So, in the meantime, we'll come right back to this. We still have no leaking. Woohoo! I actually did something right for a change. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I am seeing a little bit of water right there. That is on the exhaust side. So I have a little, tiny little bit on the exhaust side, but then again, I didn't tap these down with a piece of wood or anything. So, I don't know. I'll check, you know, once I've let it sit here for a while. We've been at this for 5 minutes, according to the camcorder. So I'm going to see over a period of time, what time is it? It is 10 till 3 right now. So I'm going to let this sit for a bit and see how long it drains out. But I'm not seeing any leaking anywhere else. And I mean, I guess, I don't have a thing of wood handy, but give it a little tap. And I'm going to put a paper towel in there. We'll soak that up since I gave it a little tap. And see if it fills back up. Maybe I didn't have it seated down all the way. I don't know. But I'll bring you guys back here in a bit. Alright folks, well it's been roughly 40 minutes. Okay. And what I did is I wiped it out. Spun the valve a little bit and reseated it back in there, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see, there is a tiny bit of water down in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will hit that again with the fine compound and lap it again just a little bit and see if that stops that. However, on another note, from what I've read, it is, for the amount of time it is set, for that little bit of water to be in there, it is perfectly fine, and I could leave it as it is because I have no springs on them. So I'll hit it again with some fine, and then I will go ahead and put the valves back in it and move on to the multitude of other things that I have. So anyway, I'll bring you back. Alright guys, I have a little dilemma here. According to, well, I've got the parts diagram up on Zillow's screen, and then I've got this printed out from the PDF version of this document. And they mention a 9x5 by 1.60 ring. So I'm looking, let me show you what I got here. Alright, so looking at my hand here, we've got the small washer, we have the bigger washer, we have this valve stem seal, tiny little sucker right there. Then we have the top piece here where the keepers go in. And then we have this piece here, which is called, what is that thing called? Valve stem seal cap. Okay. Now, according to this diagram here, below this, so you have how the order that this goes in: big washer, skinny washer, then that rubber seal, then this valve stem seal, then this cap. Okay. I am missing neither valve, and I mean, you guys watching that video, I kept all the pieces together and I put them in a sandwich bag. So I've got out the old trusty Harbor Freight because I checked on Partzilla, they can't carry it. Checked on Amazon, they want like $15 a piece. Okay, $15 a piece for this tiny rubber seal. So it says it's a 9x5 by 1.6. So I'm guessing, is that metrics? Okay, so that would be a number, yep, it's metrics. Okay, so looking at this here, I've got a number 8, which is a 4.8 inner diameter, 1.8 or 8.6 outer diameter. This says a 9x5 by 1.6. Which would be a number 9. I plucked out an 8, so let me put the 8 back. 'Cause I'll be damned if I'm gonna pay 30 bucks. Okay, that fits over that. So according to this, it fits up underneath this cap here, which will go down inside there. And I honestly, I think this will be, this is a 9.6 by 1.9. This is a 9x5 by 1.6. Well, this is going to have to work. I don't know. So that was a number 9. I'm going to take 2 of these out and see if that'll work. I'll assemble all this. Actually, let me just, while I got you guys hanging out here, see if how this will fit in here. Put the valve back in there. Okay, so we got the valve in. Then we've got big washer. And then we've got a little washer. Actually, and that's another thing I'm confused about, because this diagram shows a total of, this diagram is different than what's on Partzilla. So number 10 is a valve spring seal, B. And then number 7 is an inner seal. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm confused about this because, okay, well, let's count how many parts. Okay, so we've got the washer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces before you get to the springs. So we got 1. When I do that little one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what am I missing here? Based on this diagram here, let's go ahead and put this small washer in. Use our little pick here. Knock that down. There we go. So now we have a big washer and a small washer. And there, then number 9 is the, which one did I say 9 was? is the valve stem seal. And then 8. I mean, it's hard to read this without readers. Is the valve stem cap. Okay, so and then 13. You know, yeah, wait a minute. If looking at this diagram, trying to zoom in here. That washer there, that number 13, is the 9x5 by 1.6. That's going to go underneath the valve guide. So that's going to sit between the valve guide and the head. So number 9 would be a valve stem seal, which if we use this one here, it rolls right over top. So it doesn't give a dimension on here for that, but it's after the small washer, but before it's after the small washer, but before this cup right there. So it's going to sit inside here. So I wonder if that size will work. I don't know. I really have no idea. I am a bit perplexed over this because if this thing had had a valve job in the past, they omitted those 2 little rubber washers. Now, with that said, that washer number 8 was inner diameter of 4.8, outer diameter of 8.6. So, where did I put my valve at? We measure this with 0. Oh, my battery's dying. This is a 5.5 outer diameter, so number 8 is it? So it'd be a number 9. It would be a number 9. That would fit that. I'm gonna have to change my battery already in this thing. I just got it. Okay, so we're going to stick with the number 9 for the time being. Yeah, I mean, I guess worst case it grenades itself, right? So we've got, let's get this out of the way. I'm going to post this up. I will post this up before I continue on. And see, it shows that washer there. Then it shows the valve stem seal, which is that tiny one, and it goes up. Okay. And then you have, but now, okay, now I'm confused. I'm confusing myself again because then it shows this sitting over top of the cap. Or does it? 9. Yeah, this is confusing. Sorry, guys. You would think when you take it off, it's going to have all the parts you need. But that number 7, it just says inner seal. It doesn't say rubber. It doesn't say metal. Okay. I'm going to look on Partzilla again and see what they show. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm making a decision here. Okay, what this diagram shows, that one seal is underneath. Where's my little magnet at? I've set this sucker somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right, let me get this small ring out. Okay, so the order that it shows is big ring. Okay, so I've got that up on the screen over there. Okay, then it shows this rubber thingy before. Get this thing out of here. Come on. Oop. All these tiny parts, are they really necessary? Is it necessary? Okay, so then it shows this washer. I'm going to put that down. Then it shows the valve seal. That's there. Then it shows the cap and that small washer. And stuffing that thing down there. Let me get that small spring. Push all that down on there. Okay. So then it shows the spring, small spring. And these springs are the same, top to bottom, okay? And then it shows the cap for the keepers. And there you go. Now, at this point, I'm running with these little washers here because they fit. They fit just fine. So then, at this point, we're ready to put this up under the valve here. And kind of spin this down on it. My little handle. Let me turn you guys up a little bit. Or do I got you zoomed in? Nope. Had to turn the heat on. It's kind of chilly in here. Okay, so now that is done. That's on there. We need two little keepers. You know, honestly, I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I have no idea if, well, that rubber thing, I don't know. However, those parts weren't there. So the parts diagram on Partzilla is not the same as what's in the manual. And so I'm going to go with what's in the manual. And it doesn't mention the size of that little rubber thing, but that one that, 9 by whatever, that one fits. So now I need to find where I put my grease. Hold on a second. So we can kind of put those in. That ought to be fun. Put some grease on it. Put a magnet on it. That's easier said than done. And of course this thing does not, see if it'll stay there. Well, that is challenging, guys. What the heck? It's like that game of Operation. Ah, it stayed stuck. Put a little more grease on it. And the magnet's nice, keeps you from dropping it, but see if I can use my pick to finagle it down into position. I don't think that's the right orientation. Well, crap. It's got to go down, skinny side down. And I can't fit my fat fingers down in there. I don't think anybody could fit their fingers down in there. Oh, turd. Maybe I need to compress it more? I know my big old head's going to be in your way. And that light is freaking blinding me. That I needed. Oh, Jesus. This is stupid hard. Tell you what I need is some really small pointed needle nose pliers, because once it's on the magnet it don't want to come off the magnet. Okay, it's down in there, but is it right down in there? I don't think so, guys. I can't really. Well, yeah, that looks like it's sitting down in there. Is it sitting down in there right? I am not sure yet. We're about to find out. I think I need cat hairs in there. Miss Daisy. Okay, so that is sitting down there. Well, the magnet is great for some things, not others. I don't think that's seated in there, right? Nope. I can't tell, guys, honestly. I can't tell. I see one is sitting down farther than the other. Maybe they'll come, maybe they'll meet up. Let's see. I'll show you here in a moment. When these things go flying, I'm screwed. Oh. Kind of worried there, man. The valve fell out. That's the other valve. False alarm. Okay, let me get a paper towel, wipe this off, and I'll show you. This is tricky. Good thing I do this for fun, right? Let me get the readers so I can make sure that they're level with each other. I can't see where the crap. Okay, they are perfectly seated. Let me bring you in. We're in for the money shot. See down there? Look at that, perfectly seated. Okay, so we have one valve in. I only got 3 more to go of that fine, tedious process. So I don't think I'm going to bore you with the other remaining ones. I think we kind of resolved that issue with the little rubber doohickey thing. So what I will do then is go ahead and get these other ones done, and then I'll bring you back here momentarily, so stay tuned. Alright guys, this is done. You're looking at the intake side right here, and let's spin it around, and you're looking at the exhaust side right there. I will say that is a very tedious job. Very tedious. I don't think there's really any big trick to it, but you definitely need said spring compressor, for the valves. That's some cheap thing I got on Amazon. Works great. Putting the keepers in, that's the tricky part. These magnet tools right here are great. They're great for the job, but what happens is they're pretty strong. So you got to kind of put it in there in between. What makes it hard is you got to get it in between this right here. So you don't have a whole lot of room to work. I found that the best thing for me was to get the put the keeper on, so the tapered side down, put your grease on it, kind of get it in position and push this in there and push it against the back wall, of the spring, and then pull your magnet off, and then just kind of move, take your pick and move it around in a position. They don't have to be perfectly lined up as long as they're in the right, close to each other, because as you're slowly lifting it up, it'll push them into position. So I did figure that one out. So there you go. Valve job done. Thumbs up. So yeah, I'll keep these old valves. Probably put a little dab of grease on them, because I think these valves are still kind of good. I mean, if I get a really crap bike, I'll put some grease on them, keep them from rusting. But I think they could be lapped again just fine. They don't look like they're really pitted, or anything like that. So here, I got you zoomed in. Ooh, let's zoom you out. Yeah, I mean, they're not. These are the intake side. So, and you can see on the back sides of them, they're really not in bad shape. So, I don't know. If I do get another 175, which I do plan on getting another 175, time will tell. I like them. So, and I do want to get a CB360. I would like to get one of those down the road. There is one on Marketplace. I messaged the guy, but he's never responded back yet, so I don't know if he still has it or don't have it or what. But that's about as big as a bike as I'd ever get. I'm just not a huge fan of big bikes, so I don't get big bikes. But anyway, I may wrap this up. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know how much time I've even got into this on this valve piece of it. I kind of wanted to cover the valves all at once, so if I do, then here's your valve stuff. If not, then I'll add more stuff to it, because trust me, trust me, I got plenty more to do. I got the cylinders over there. I still want to, I got the rings in. I need to check the ring gap on those down the cylinders. I want to double check the cylinders again, make sure they're good. My initial checks where everything was fine, and I got to put that thing back together, the stator back together. I do have, let me get you over here, smash my finger. I've got these 3 washers, the smaller ones, bushings, whatever, seals. This one here, apparently at Amazon, according to Amazon, is in my mailbox. So I'll get those put in, and then that way I can get this side of the case buttoned back up. And what else do I got to do? I got to clean those spacers for the carbs. Still got to mess with the carbs. I haven't even looked at those. I got to heat the cylinder up so I can drop the sleeves back down into them. And yeah, I'm going to just double check. And one thing I did want to kind of point out, and maybe this is normal with these, I have not, on the 2-strokes, here's your piston right here, and if you look around it, there's no pins. There are no pins in these things to hold the rings in place. So I have looked on both of them, and there are no pins whatsoever. So I'm guessing the rings just float in there. And here is my Chinese set of rings. I'm thinking the black one here, the black one right here in my hand is the top ring, middle ring, and then you have the 3 rings that comprise the oiler ring. So yeah, we'll see about that. Like I said, I've still got to measure the ring gaps on all those, make sure they're good. What else do I got to do here? Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of clean up some of my mess. And I would really, really, really like to build a vapor blaster before I put this thing back together. so I can clean this head up. This one here actually don't look bad. This one looks pretty, it turned out really good. I mean, I just put that in the ultrasonic. It looks nice and shiny. But if you put the two next to each other, you can see how much shinier this one here in my hand is versus the head. So I would like to clean that up. And if I'm going to do all this, I'd like to do it now before I go put this engine back in the bike. So anyway, that's a project for another day. And then continue on with all this other crap. So I'll be back.